Hello and welcome back to a message for you. Get on your mark, get set, ready or not, here it comes. It's coming in now. This divine union is here. It's now. Like, it's so now that I have not gotten in the royal decree yet, which is this thing. It's in one of my videos where it's just something speaking through me. Like a solid channel, something speaking through me. This has happened with other things that have actually come true. And I'm being told, get ready. Get ready, because I'm also being told it's like 2 days before this actually comes through, and I'm sitting here in a meeting. You're going to be meeting soon. That was weird. That's exactly what that channel sounds like. Before I forget, welcome back to a message for you. Please like and subscribe if you like my content. There will be information about readings soon, but this is going to start out at whatever it starts out at and is going to be extended into whatever it extends into, because this is important to spirit to get out, because I can barely get it out. Okay, so today I channeled the song by Little Texas, My Love. And the first thing I was told is get on your mark, get set, ready or not, here it comes. So it doesn't matter if you're ready, your divine counterpart is coming in now. This is the masculine coming in. And by that, what I mean is the following. As we all know, there is no gender in tarot. And in life, there is a gender in general is a Venn diagram of how you feel on the inside. For me, I am very, very even in my masculine and feminine, okay? Very well balanced for me. But I know people where they feel a little bit more feminine, but they feel a little bit, so it's a Venn diagram, right? So in this, what is going on is the following. It doesn't matter what your gender is right now. What it comes down to is you have healed your feminine. Whether you're male, female, they, them, whatever your feminine aspect is that was hurt, that was really hurt. And I'm being told really hurt, like you were putting up your defenses. You put a sword in front of everything because you weren't letting anything cut that knot but you. And then you cut it. And then you cut it. You cut it. I'm being told right now, you cut it. You cut that knot. And you made that decision because you needed to feel love again. I'm getting fidgety in my chair. Trying to figure out where to put stuff down. Oh gosh, this is so strong. You have cut this knot out. I mean, look at this knot. Did you see how extensive that is? Did you see how extensive that is? That's a big knot. That's professional, man. But look at her sleeve, though. Let me see if I can get that in right. Her sleeve, the flower on her sleeve, looks a lot like this knot. She's allowed herself to blossom. The feminine inside of you has allowed themselves to blossom. And the beautiful thing is when you allow your feminine to blossom and be less strong, it allows your masculine to become softer. Because when the feminine has her sword up, she has her sword up. She doesn't put it down unless she chooses to. Because it's her protection. Because we always have to protect our feminine side, don't we? Because our feminine side, it's not that it's weaker. It's that it's softer. And that softer can look like weakness, but it's not really. It's that softer side that allows us to see that something, you know, needs to change. It's that softer side that allows us to see the infants. It's that softer side that allows us to step back and actually look at what we're doing and look at what's going on in front of us, so we can properly articulate what we're seeing and viewing, so we can properly do what we need to. Like, I can barely get this out. Excuse me. It is cold up here. Oh, and look at that. I switched positions too. Ooh. Because now she's on top. She's on top, and she's holding her sword, and she's taken away this spider web that is around this knot, which is a flower, and this is her flower. This is her innocence that she's protecting. But sometimes you got to cut that so that you can grow, stronger. Because if you're only laying here with your sword in front of there, the strength that you're growing is anger and fear. You know, when you cut that open and you deal with what's the inside, you see the flower and you see yourself blossom and bloom. I mean, look at her. She's blossoming and blooming. She recovered from the 10 of Swords. I mean, come on. I mean, you allowed your feminine to soften, whoever you are. And that's just the most beautiful thing in the world that you could ever do. Because when you allow your feminine to soften, you allow the masculine to soften too, so that they don't always have to be on the front and ready for danger. Because when the queen is soft, and when the queen knows that there's no danger, that means her king, their king, can step back and actually see the stars. Like look at this. Like when they step back, they can see the stars. They can make the wishes that they need to make, right? They can become one. They soften in each other's arms. Yeah, I mean, look at that. That's the king and the queen, in whatever respect you want to put it, and they soften in each other's arms. The moment that song came to me, the Ace of Cups came to me, and then all of a sudden the Ace of Cups came out. This is that love that both the divine masculine and the divine feminine have. This is the divine human love that has no gender. And you softened your feminine. And because you softened your feminine, it's coming in now. This masculine, get on your mark, get set, ready or not, here I come. I have felt you soften. I have felt your feminine side soften. And now my masculine side sees you. And my masculine side wants to be with you. And when we combine our masculine and our feminine, we become one, we become they, we become them, we become us. And you're not going to see this. I mean, you may see this. There may be a plan to meet. It might be somebody showing up at your door because their spidey sense clicks off and they go, I have to go now. I mean, if you've ever felt that force of energy, I can feel it right now. It will pull you over. I mean, let's face it, at the end of the day, this King of Coins may be a turtle, but let's face it, if we've ever watched Caitlin and Tiptoe, we know turtles move quite faster than what we think. You know, and along with this, we have to remember the king himself had to balance his cups and his coins. He had to balance his fire and his water, because he needed to learn that, you know, I need to be able to have the water in this hand and the fire in this hand, and we need to be able to meet them on some level without the water taking out the fire or the fire evaporating the water. And this is that work that he did. And because he was able to do this work, that energetically shifted and allowed you to feel safe enough to cut this, And he feels this. He is feeling this. He is feeling this. Because where he had to balance his cups and his coins, you had to balance your earth and your air. Because when the both of you have balanced those two, you guys can come together and you can be equally balanced. Because your cups and your cups and your coins, your fire and your water, that was already balanced. You knew how to balance that, because the heartbreak you had was so hard that you really sat there and contemplated, do I want to be in love again? Do I want another human being in my life? Do I really want to go through that again? And you sat there and you went through all of those fears. What if they leave again? What if they play me? What if they pity me and this isn't a real? You went through all of that, and little by little this sword just snipped little string after string after string until this fell. And you realized that even though you had all those fears, you couldn't send them. Because if you sit like this, always hiding behind this fear, nothing will come to you. Nothing can come to you because you're not allowing anything in, because there's too big of a pain and a hurt and a knot. And this is that feminine that has to be healed. Is she gonna trust everybody? No. She's got her sword up. She will see you as she needs to see you. But don't expect her trust immediately. But that's the difference here, isn't it? That's the difference here. That's the difference here. Because when she made this decision to fully step out of this spider web, she made a condition. She made a wish. She said, I'm not gonna sit there and choose and just wonder like which one has the genie in it. No, my wish is the following: someone who can meet me at my level, someone who can see me at my silly and be amused and not angry, and somebody who can see me at my serious and understand, well, that person's ass is in trouble because I wouldn't piss her off like that. And that goes both genders. I use her because I'm a woman, but you know what I'm saying? You made a wish and you said, I don't want to sit there and have to select a million different people. And because this is not who you are. You're not somebody who's going out there to date you're not looking to hook up. You're looking for the one. You're looking for the star. You're looking for the wish. You're looking for that person. You're looking for your kingdom spouse, that person that God put the seed next to, and you two hit that spark and you grew in the divine kingdom of Eden, where all divine kingdom spouses grow in seed form, planted there by God themselves. And if the seeds don't grow, the collectors come over and they take the seeds and they put them over there, and eventually one little seed will come over here and meet that little seed, and they will be planted together in the garden. And yes, that is the Garden of Eden. Because even souls need a childhood. Even souls are infants. And I don't mean in the human form, in the soul form. Excuse me. You've really taken time. Because you're not doing the shit that you used to do. You want success. And you're willing to wait for it. You're willing to wait for it to come in. You know, you're willing to be patient. Not that you're not scared if it doesn't happen, but you know that it will. You see, this person here, she becomes the high priestess. And the high priestess is very cautious, and she knows how to have her sword up and her sword down. And this person sees this, and they see her generosity, and they see who she is as a human. They know that she is the magician. And you see how they come in? You see that sun? They bring her this. That is that sun. Okay? Because you got to remember, it's not like everybody is suddenly healed, it's all happily ever after, and then we go on our business and everybody lives great. No, there's still a lot of healing to do, but we've healed enough that we can bring our defenses down and understand that this person isn't going to hurt us. And then, what ends up happening is we're healed enough to be in that relationship where we're not taking down another human being. Instead, that human being is actually helping us to heal because they have done a lot of healing, and the things that they're saying and the actions they have are healing actions. And if it's something that you don't like, then you say, hey, I don't like that. That bothers me for this reason. And then everybody is educated and learns and heals differently. I mean, this is, you know, 4 of Wands and 6 of Wands came out. I mean, this is a union coming in. This is an absolute partnership forever. Like, this is, I don't see this breaking up. Like, this is kingdom spouse. This is the seed of the Garden of Eden that you were with. And I'm not talking star seeds. I'm not talking anything like that. I'm talking about everybody starts as a seed in the Garden of Eden. Your soul starts as a seed in the Garden of Eden. It just does. And that is who you're with. But you guys have been through so many lifetimes and so many times together that, you know, you've gone off, you've broken off, and you've done your learning, and now you're coming back together here. But I feel like there's more of an urgency for some reason. Like this lifetime really hurt you. It hurt you more than any lifetime has. And a lot of us are going to have to not get over. A lot of us are going to have to heal from a lot of the trauma here so that we're not bringing it to our next soul journey. Because even though on the other side we sit there and go, okay, yeah, it still hurts, and we still end up bringing that hurt over. It's like that scar that doesn't go away on your body. And that's why scars, when you're born, will go through your different lifetimes. Scars and then birthmarks are actually what it is. I have one on the side of my leg. It looks like somebody stabbed me in the side of the leg. Also looks like a unicorn or a bunny running. I don't know. It looks like a bunny running or a unicorn. But he still, you know, it's not like everything is cured and perfect, because he does see the sorrow that you bring. But he's able to help you with that because he himself has healed. He himself has healed. Your masculine has healed. And they've taken the slow journey to it. You know, they've done the deep diving. They've tempered themselves as the turtle. They carry it all on their back, and they know how to do it now because you softened. And once you softened, once you cut the ties that bound you to yourself, to your sorrows, this masculine woke up, and it was like a cosmic shock to his system. And he went, oh, you know, I mean, if you've already met him, you could have even said something to him that made his whole energetic field go pop. Because standing up in your energy is a strength and a it's like a soul recognition. A soul zap. Zap. Yeah, you were not willing to sit there with grandiose choices. You're I mean, it's not like, you're going to meet the first person and then date them and then that's it. But what I'm saying is if you've healed this to this point, this means you've dated at least a little bit and you're just sitting there going, no, I'm just going to fish them out till I find the one that I like. And if that means that, it takes a long time or it never happens, then that's what it is, because this is monotonous trying to find the genie here, okay? This is ridiculous trying to find the genie here. Because you have to rub all the lamps. Who wants to rub all those lamps? And then at some point, what are we doing rubbing all those lamps? You see what I'm saying? Sometimes you just want to stay by yourself, because that's healing. Look at her. She's here in the middle of the woods. She's taking the time. She's looking at the stars. And she's healing herself. She's healing herself. And that's the most important thing, is that quiet time to heal yourself, because if you're not healed, you're not going to make good choices. You're never going to find that genie you're looking for, because that genie is healed and you're not. Which means there may be 7 cups here, but at one point one cup is going to disappear because you're looking at too many cups and he's passing you by. And the only way to stop that is to heal yourself so that you draw him in. Because when you do that, that means that he's healed himself enough to draw you in. And this won't be a narcissistic relationship. This won't be a relationship where, if you do this, I'll do this. No, it's a relationship of, you're not even going to ask that because you don't feel that need to. It's just, hey, babe, I need you. Can you help me with this? Okay, can you do this for me tomorrow? Do you think? If you can't, it's okay. All right, thank you. And that's what it is. Because nobody wants to be deceived. We've all been through the flames. We've all had the flames thrown at us, and nobody is willing to do that anymore. And I'm being told that this is like a lot of people out there. They're tired of it. They want their 6 of Wands. They want their destined partner. They want their Ace of Cups. They want that person to share this cup with, this life, this mana, this existence, because this Ace of Cups is the relationship the both of you have. You pour 100% of yourselves into this cup, and then you feed and nurture yourself from it. And when it gets hard, you work on it. You go to therapy, and you talk, and you don't hide, even if you think it's gonna hurt. Because hiding always hurts more. But this is you guys. This is your relationship unit. You both poured 100% in there because you're healed enough to understand that you can. Because you know everything has to be slow moving and everything has to be within its time. I mean, it has to be balanced. There has to be meditation. There has to be this dance, this tango that only the 2 of you know when you're going around. This dance as you walk in the kitchen with no music. And it's really incredible. And it's not like you guys haven't been hanging for a long time. You definitely have. And you've been in your swords. You've been in your sorrows. And you've also healed. You've also put your foot down and said, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. I am going to sit and I'm going to protect myself, my wealth, and my family of what is around me that I love. Yeah, see, look at that. I'm going to balance it and make it work. But I'm not going to be yeah, I'm not going to drive myself crazy with it, because if I drive myself crazy with it, I'm just going to, yeah. And that's what you're stepping into. You're stepping into this relationship of this partnership. The partnership. This is beautiful. Yeah. You both start taking the lead, and you have patience with each other, and that patience is the healing that you're seeking. As a matter of fact, I really feel like both of you have been hurt significantly, and this patience that you're seeking, you have it with yourself, but you're just looking for that person who will have that same patience. I mean, obviously, I can't have the same patience that somebody else is going to have for themselves, but they can teach me how to have patience for them along with the patience that I do have, because, you can just take so much. But for me, if I look at you and say, you've been patient with me, and this is kind of one of those stupid things I do, just give me 5 times, and they have patience with you. They're having patience with you as you're learning for them. You're learning what your higher power is. It's exactly. Yes, you're learning your higher power. And you're learning that higher power is this partnership in this relationship. Because this relationship actually helps you to face the fears that made your heart bind up. And it's not that both of you didn't have a heart that bound up. Both of you had your heartache and your trauma, and you guys really had to heal from this. This was a lot for a lot of you, overwhelming. I'm being told that this was too much. This was too much, to a point where even the divine is going, poof, these. Even the divine is saying, slow it down with the trauma now, I'm also being told that although it did help you face your fears, it helped you face too many too quickly. So some of you might have had a really rapid coming to Jesus moment that was too quick, too much, and it was too much, too quick, and too short of amount of time for any rational being to make sense of. But somehow you still have your sanity, and even God is looking at this going, we don't know how you did that. But even we're sitting here going, yeah, that was too much of a test. Because this didn't actually help you face your fears. It just made you make that knot tighter and harder. And yeah, it made just way too much come up. That's true. You do have to accept this help within yourself, Spirit. That's true. And this person is going to have the patience for you on the inside that you need to have. And it's not that you're not going to piss them off, because we always piss off our partners. You can't get around that. If you don't piss your partner off on, what kind of relationship. It's when you do it all the time, that's a problem. Because everybody has to get used to each other. Everybody has their balance point, right? Everybody has their 2 of coins they're balancing, and everybody has their balance point to that 2 of coins. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this is also going to help you take care of a lot of shadow work that you were afraid to take care of because you had to face certain fears. This person coming in is going to be able to not only help you face those fears, but they're going to make those fears seem less afraid. They're going to bring them more into a current area where your current adult self is not as afraid as what they used to be. Like, this is going to be very, very healing for you. And don't think you're not going to do this for the other person. You are, but you're going to do it in the way that they need it done and not the way you do. You're gonna see the balance. You're gonna see the balancing of the Two of Coins. You're gonna see that. Like, I'm literally being shown the Two of Coins with the guy with his foot up off the ground because he's balancing, but he's balancing these two coins, and he knows that when he has to, he can put the other foot down, get stable, and then put the other foot up to balance. He knows he can do that because this is a partnership. This is a partnership of love. I need another cup of coffee now. This is to just see the love. Just because this love brings courage, and this love brings a courage that you've never had. You know, even if you thought you did, it's going to intensify what you had once before, and you're going to look at what you had once before and go, I understand what I had, but I understand why this is better, even though none of us want to actually believe that that's true. Because for some of us, you were caught up in a love that was perfectly fine until it ended. COVID was not an easy thing. COVID did not mentally hit everybody the way that it should have. A lot of people had really fine, solid relationships, and one or other person went a little crazy and relationships ended for whatever reasons that they did. And that's a lot of heartache, and that takes a lot of trust to trust again with that. It's hard to give your... It's hard to let down your boundaries because you're constantly watching for signs. You know, you don't want anybody to take the things that, you know, you had, you know, because you've accepted responsibility. Exactly. Watch for signs. You've accepted responsibility. It's just, yeah, the enchantment of a relationship, it's lost its charm. You know, was it meant to be? You know, what is going, but you conquered that fear. You took away that knot, and you decided that no matter what, you weren't going to let those feelings and emotions get in your way of having a new partner. You were just going to make a wish and choose. And by that, it doesn't mean that you get to, you know, go, oh, I'll take him, because that's what this person's doing. This person's going, oh, I'll take that one and that one and that one, or I'll take one at a time, and then I'll have all 7, right? No, you're looking up at the stars, and you're saying, you know what? I want someone bigger, braver, bolder. I want someone who will love me as much as that person who whatever. But I want a better love. I want a stronger love. I want someone that when the going gets tough, they don't get going. They stop, they step back, they think about it. If it starts to affect them, we talk about it. We go to therapy, we do the thing, we try. And that's not in that weird way of hoping it will work. It's, no, I need to go to therapy for this. If my therapist needs to just sit on a couple sessions, is that okay? Oh yeah, sure, not a problem. All right, thank you. Or, hey honey, I'm having difficulty with this that you told me about you in our relationship. Can we go to couples therapy for a few months for that? Sure. Because you have open communication. And in a real relationship, in a real kingdom spouse relationship, in a real relationship, there's a lot of back and forth talking going on of communication. Communication is so key. And this is what you do. And because you do love each other and you want to move forward, and you know that everybody can have trauma of one, you don't let that affect you. Because at the end of the day, if it's going to, you're not going to be drawn together as kingdom spouses. You're going to be drawn together as a lesson. Okay? Okay? And what that means, is that if you do come together and, like, say your trauma ends up being too much because this person has A, B, C, D, whatever in their family, things that they've been affected by, and they, like, there's a very good example of, the Maria Bamford show, Lady Dynamite, where she's dating someone and she has mental health issues, and he looks at her and says, I can't date you. My mom had the same mental health issues that you do, and I'm so traumatized by that as much as I love you, I can't date you. I can't be around that. And that's a really, really hard thing to say. But that person saying that to you isn't your kingdom spouse. That person saying that to you, that person is a lesson. You're a lesson for them so that they know how far, what they can take. And it's a lesson for you to understand that not everybody can take, your depression, your anxiety, your schizophrenia, your bipolar. Not everybody can take that. But your kingdom spouse can. Your kingdom spouse will look at you when you're manic and go, did you take your meds? And you'll go, oh my God. They will look at you, oh my gosh, and literally help you through this. Because they want to. Because there isn't any reason for them not to. Does that make sense? So both of you decided not to just keep selecting person after person. You were tired of these hookups. You were tired of these, what are they called? Non-committal relationships. Grandma, abuela, don't do that. No. My father's mother, she's 106 and dead on the other side and just wants to put other words for what I'm trying to say. It wasn't hookup, casual relationships. It's not casual, it's casual. It's casual. It is. That's the right word. These are casual relationships. And if you're only sucked up in casual relationships, then you're never, ever, ever, you're not going to see that star. And when you do see that star, you're not going to be ready for them because you've just been doing casual relationships and you haven't been hanging out by yourself and learning who you are. This guy in this picture, he has no idea who he is. Look at all of the lamps he's trying to find the genie in. And he'll find a genie in every single one, but it just won't be the genie that he wants. Because this is the genie that he wants, but he hasn't done that self-work yet, okay? But you have. You and your kingdom spouse, see? You're both right there. You've both made the same wish. I don't know what kind of Sally Owens wish y'all made, but you did make one. One of impossibilities. One of, I'm not ever going to be able to find that. I'm never going to be able to find the genie in the, yeah, well, it's standing right smack dab in front of you. Love again. Yeah. Yeah, because this is a tried and tested love from many different past lifetimes, because this is a kingdom spouse. It's like you guys go through your life and go, okay, yep, I'm going to go here, 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 and here. And when you get to a certain point, it's like, yep, now we can meet up. And it took you a lot of lifetimes to do that because you both had to learn the different things that you needed to learn in those lifetimes to get to a point where you could just casually come in and out of each other's lifetimes. However, like I said, there is something very, 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 very different here. It's like there's a group of divine masculines that have to come in to save divine feminines. Whether you're feminine or masculine, it doesn't matter. It's just a group of masculines, regardless of what your gender is here, male or female. On the other side, there was a group of masculines who were like, actually, yes, it was the masculine of whatever was on the other side, regardless of how it was born here. My God, it's so complicated. And they knew. Whatever we were planning, whatever we were helping another soul with, they knew it was not going to go right. But it should have. It should have gone right. And there have been quite a few trajectories to change to make sure that it all goes right, but it didn't. It failed. It failed miserably. It was like this is a possibility, but it's like all of the masculines on the other side knew this was going to happen. And when they said to us, listen, we have a bad feeling about this, we didn't listen because the path that we were looking at showed that it should work, that this isn't going to happen. Like, it wasn't even a possibility within. Like, they didn't even know what was going to happen or what it was, but it didn't even show up for us. This is something that should have showed it up karmically. But there was something else a little stronger, and it just nudged everything off. Ooh, I'm sorry. I apologize for that. It just, and then it jumped to the right. It's like the time warp. That's exactly what it is. It was the time warp. And the love card for the third time. 3 might mean someone. Love is very important right now. Genuine, real love is very important right now because it's what the truth is. And I think that's why Watch Out for Signs came out 3 times, and so did Love. And here's the Watch for Signs in case it means for somebody. Oh, also I had some signs. Lilacs. And then all I could smell was like spring lilacs in my nose. Little Texas, My Love. You Gotta Kick a Little, that song came in too. My Aunt Helen came in, which reminded me of my Uncle Jack, and their last name is Brennan, so take that as you need it. Another message I have for you is you gotta kick a little in the womb of creation. Okay? You've got to kick a little bit in the womb of creation. And this is what you're doing. You're kicking. You're kicking in the womb of creation because you're creating this boundary together that you're not going to let anybody else go against. And when I say that this is coming in, I mean this is now. Like, I would not be shocked tomorrow if I was doing a reading and in the middle of the reading a decree came through and something just channeled that I don't know about. Because that will happen. A lot of times I finish these and I don't actually remember the reading I've done. I only have a vague overview and I don't reread them because it gets weird. Sometimes I re-listen to them for my own information. Yeah, we got sirens out there. So this is coming in quick. Not only is this coming in quick, okay, but once it does come in, everything happens quick. So if this divine masculine comes in and you guys meet and he's from 2 hours away, you're moving 2 hours away, or he's moving with you. I feel like you're moving away though. Sorry about the loud clap. Go listen to that song. Yeah, knowledge. You guys have knowledge of each other. When you see this person, it will be like you've never seen anything like that in your life. You will feel immediate spiritual abundance. And you will immediately start to change. And it's not going to be a poof change, fairy princess. It's going to be I just saw this person, I went home, and now I'm putting my can opener away because I feel that that's the right thing to do at my age. You also might just be 33. Because when you're neurodivergent, you start turning the lights off between like 31 and 33. It's like a growth spurt in our brain. Anyway, okay. But this is sudden. This is coming in. This is now. This is not 2 weeks from now. I would not be shocked if it's in like the next 24 to 48 hours. Some of you already have communication with this person, you just haven't met, and when you do, or the next time you see a photo of them or talk to them, you might have that soul shock of recognition. When you meet them, you will. It will be like when you touch the buggy at the Walmart and you get that electromagnetic shock. It's like that, but it's like that happened through your energy field and your soul, and you didn't even touch anything. You're just standing there. I had that happen with a picture about a year ago. And then just recently as well, same person. I'm just seeing if Spirit has anything else to say. Yeah, keep your focus. Keep your focus up. Because they don't want you to dwell, okay? They don't want you to overly dwell on your past, because your past has a way of coming back up and kind of putting you into this little low vibe mode that you are trying to not be in. So if that comes up, if the past comes up, ask yourself, do I need to actually review this at the moment for my mental health? Or do I need to not keep thinking about this because it's just destructive and I've thought about it 20 million times and I don't need to say what the truth is anymore because it's done, it's over with. You know, it's not something that happened 20 years ago that I need to reflect on 20 years later. It's something that, you know, I don't need to reflect on because it just happened 3 years ago. And you know what? This isn't the time to review it, you know? Or maybe sometimes, yeah, that's true too, Spirit. Sometimes what I do is I see that the memory is coming in and I just prepare myself and I go to the right area to have the memory where I, you know, feel comfortable. But that's for if you have a memory that you have to deal with. Because I will tell you, and I'm being told to mention PTSD. One of the things I can tell you as someone who has had PTSD, one of the things you can do is when it starts to come up, don't interact with it. Just let it breathe across your brain so that your brain can feel it. Because often your brain is what needs to feel that because your nervous system already knows. And once that happens, it's like it allows it to leave the system. That's why it's important to sleep, because your brain reviews a lot of stuff at night, you know? Like when you see those passing thoughts go through your head, that's just your brain reviewing something that it needs to review. And if you decide to interact with that, then there you go. You know, the one thing they tell me too is you didn't waver from this wish. You were consistent. You were consistent. You knew what you wanted and you said it every time. I want something bigger, better, and bolder, that when the going gets tough, no one's leaving. No one is saying, see you later, bye, because I'm avoidant and I can't deal with shit. Yeah. They're not going to string you up and leave you in your sorrows. They're going to actually help you through this. Yeah. They're going to help you do your shadow work. They're going to help you. And especially if you're intuitive, they're going to understand your clairvoyance and they're going to help you through that too, especially if they are clairvoyant and they're a little bit more advanced than you are. Okay, Spirit, do we have anything else? All right. I think we're done. All right, everybody. All right. Okay, everybody, thank you for joining me. Be good, behave, be happy, be yourself. Always be kind. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I love you.